Hey guys, Eva Thompson here. Welcome back to our channel today. In this video, I am going to be specifically addressing an email that was sent to us asking for advice, because I think a lot of you are going to relate to these points anyway, if you suffer from retroactive jealousy. The person that emailed, of course, will remain anonymous. If you want to send in your questions or suggest video ideas that you want to see, you can do so either in the comment section below or you can email us privately. But specifically today, I'm going to be talking about feeling misaligned with your partner because of what they did in the past, not being able to relate to it, not being able to understand it, and just feeling, I guess, on some level that your morals and values don't match because of what they did in the past. Something that I used to feel when I suffered from RJ, and this person brought it up, is not feeling like you can have a genuine, meaningful relationship with a person that is not allowed to bring up their past because they know your reaction. And you, of course, don't want this to be the case. One part of you is probably thinking, I don't want to get triggered, I don't want to feel anxious, I don't want to feel anger, I'd rather just not talk about it. But there's another part of you that feels, and on some degree knows, that in order to have a relationship where you know each other, you feel comfortable, you trust each other, you can be vulnerable with each other, and it's just a strong relationship, having parts of you that you can't share being the partner of the other sufferer because you're afraid of being judged or you're afraid of triggering your partner is a problem. So I remember feeling this way as well, feeling like, well, I don't want my partner to feel like he can't talk about his past. You know, just silly things that happened that will then trigger me and make me want to ask him questions. And this person also said, because they have had so much experience in the past, they feel like the moments in their marriage have been robbed of meaningful moments and activities. So essentially, you don't feel like what you do or your experiences are as special because they've done similar things or the same things in the past. Two things that really helped me when I was struggling was firstly realizing that I am comparing the morals and values that my partner had in the past to the morals and values that I have today. So you're taking someone that had different morals and values, you're not allowing them to change, you're not allowing them to grow, you're not allowing them to learn and to move forward. That is who they are today in your head, and you are telling yourself that you're misaligned, when actually people are allowed to grow and to change. Values and morals are allowed to grow, not to grow, but to change, to shift. You're allowed to go through life. I mean, that's what life's about, isn't it? You learn, you grow, you change, hopefully for the better. So this idea of we are not aligned because he did these things in the past, that's not who he is anymore. That's not what he does. That's not what he believes in. Yes, maybe he had to go through things and experience things to come to that conclusion, but that's his journey. Who is he for you right now? Is he a good husband? Is he a good partner? Is he a good father if you have kids? Really think about it that way. That's what helped me a lot, was realizing how different my partner was in the past and how much he's changed. And he's changed for me and for the relationship because he wants to be in this relationship for the better. I mean, in some ways, it's even like someone telling you that you are the same person you were when you were 15 or when you were 5. You can see in yourself as well. You grow, you change, your morals and your values change. Imagine someone saying to you, well, at 5 years old, you believed in Santa, if you did, and therefore I can't be with you because our morals and values don't align because I don't believe in Santa. It's not that different. Same as when you were 15. Did you believe different things? Did you think differently? Have you grown? Have you changed based on everything? Your interactions you have every day, the conversations you have, the books you read, the movies you watch, the documentaries that you might watch, what experiences you've had, you know? You really are allowed. You need to remember this, you're allowed to grow and to change. But morals and values change, they shift. and they are allowed to. So that's the first thing that really helped me, is realizing how my partner is just not who they used to be. We're not misaligned, because I am not with who he used to be. I am with who he is today. Now, the second thing that really helped me was realizing that, and you mentioned the same in your email, so I'm going with that, because you haven't had these experiences to the degree that they have, at least. In your head, and because of society, they build it up for it to be this like amazing experience, whether it's one night stands or going to clubs or this and that. They really build it up as if it's this amazing thing that you remember for the rest of your life, and it's so special and this and that. And because you haven't experienced it, or at least you haven't experienced it to the degree that they have, you worry that, you question, and on some level you do question, how am I as special as that? How does he not look back and just reminisce and want all of that back? And it's because on some level you are refusing to really let in and believe how much you mean to him. I mean, he doesn't do that anymore. He has a choice that he could, like, no one's chained him to a pole. He can go out and he can go to the clubs and he can find other people. He can, but he doesn't want to, because he wants to be with you instead. He has chosen you over all of that. So it can't be that amazing. If he wanted that, he would be there. If it was so much better than you, he would be doing that, but it's not for him. He's put it to bed, he's put it in the past, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He wants to focus on you and your marriage and your relationship and your future. And that's a big thing. And sometimes if you have low self-esteem, and I'm just saying it because I had low self-esteem, and of course it's a work in progress, everyone always is a work in progress, but you refuse to believe that you are as special as he's telling you you are. And so if you are struggling with this, that's what I would recommend exploring, is when he gives you validation, when he tells you he doesn't care about the past, when he gets so frustrated with how irrelevant it is, it's because it really is to him. And that's the thing with reassurance in RJ sufferers too. We don't let the reassurance in, like you do for a day or a week and it feels good, but then there is something, again, sort of wanting that validation, wanting that reassurance, wanting a question to be asked. Because when they give us reassurance and they tell us, you are so much more important, you are so, than all of those experiences, you are so much more valuable to me, like you're so much more special to me than all of that, we don't believe it. Part of it is because we haven't experienced it maybe, and we're like, oh well, in my head, in the movies and TV shows, it's like this built up amazing experience that in my head seems so much better than it actually probably was. Again, because if it was that amazing, he would be running back to that, he would want that. Except that you are the person that they love, that they want to settle for, that they see as special, that they see as better than and more special than and more valuable than all of those experiences in the past. And so I hope that those 2 points helped you. Honestly, when it comes to allowing your partner to feel safe enough to have conversations about their past, that's going to take time. For me, I remember I healed RJ, I got better, I didn't have it anymore, and 6 months later the past came up and my partner got really anxious. It just came up in conversation randomly, and my partner got really anxious because he didn't believe that I wouldn't react, like he didn't believe that I was over it. It took him some time to actually see the progress, for him to feel more comfortable. It took a long time. So I would say, I understand where you're coming from. You don't feel like you can connect fully. I would start healing the RJ and working on myself. I hope those 2 points that I made previously helped you. And then as time goes by and you work on yourself and the relationship and communication, you can start to help him feel more comfortable expressing himself, because it's not a nice place for them to be, not being able to express themselves, or not feel like you fully accept them for who they are. It's upsetting. So that's where I would recommend starting. One last thing I want to mention is that this person also said that they've realized that they've become numb, or they've tried to sort of water down opinions that they used to have. about certain things, again, clubbing, maybe one night stands, maybe drugs, whatever. And this is not what I would recommend doing. You are allowed to disagree with what they did. You're allowed to say, well, I don't really understand that, I wouldn't do it, I don't like it. That's allowed. You can do that. You don't have to love their past in order to overcome RJ. You don't have to hate their past in order to overcome RJ. It's being indifferent to it. So it's realizing that you didn't do those things. That's not your baggage to carry in a way. If you don't agree with their past, that is fine. It's about becoming indifferent to it. Not agreeing with it, being okay with that, but also feeling indifferent to it and what it has to do with a relationship today. Because if they haven't given you a reason to feel that it's a threat, or that they're going to go back to that, or that they still think and feel this way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't have to affect you. It's got nothing to do with you. People are allowed to make choices, to make mistakes, to learn, to grow, to figure things out. And if they're the partner that you want and you see a future with today, great. And I know it's easier said than done, you know. I would not like to be told these things that are so logical when I was suffering, but I'm just letting you know how ideally you want to feel and think about everything in order for you to be okay. And it's nothing that's unrealistic, you know. His past has nothing to do with you, and it never will. Again, if he hasn't given you a reason to think this way and feel this way, like it is some sort of threat. But yeah, you're absolutely allowed to say, I don't agree with that, I don't understand it, I wouldn't do it, but he did, and that's on him and not me. And also, if you can start realizing that maybe you grew up and you have different backgrounds or different ideas and you grew up with different influences, then that really will help you even more. But we need to understand that as people, it's almost like, you know, you come out of the womb and then essentially you're programmed and you're taught what's right and wrong. You know, there's nothing written in stone. People, whether you're from the West or from the East or from, you know, wherever, it doesn't matter, religions, it really depends on where you're from, and that is what you learn. You learn wrong and right, you learn what's good and bad, and that's how you live your life. So if you can get into that a bit more and realize, okay, well, how did my partner grow up? Did they grow up differently from me? Were they programmed in a different way than I was? That helps too. So just to recap, remember, people are allowed to grow and to change and to evolve. You are not misaligned because you're not with a person that he used to be. You're with who he was today, who he is today. That's the first thing. The second thing is to remember and to allow yourself to accept that you are actually more special than all of those experiences in the past, and it's proof today. But it's about allowing yourself to actually feel it and believe that you are good enough and that you are special enough and that you are worthy and valuable enough for someone to want to settle down with you and not care about their past anymore. Thirdly, remember, time is the best thing for the whole not feeling like he's accepted, not feeling like you can fully get to know him, not feeling like you can have open conversations. It's up to them to feel accepted and to feel okay so they can come and talk to you and open up, and for you to be truly in that place where you can listen without judgment. Again, indifference is key. So you don't have to love it, you don't have to hate it, you can become indifferent to it. You can understand that that's not who they are anymore, it's not who they're going to be probably ever again. And so allowing yourself to not telling yourself you have to love it or hate it, but become indifferent to it and allow the other person to have their journey in life, and not feeling threatened by that because you feel like it takes away value and meaning. It doesn't take away value and meaning. Again, accept that he finds you so valuable and you so amazing that he wants to actually settle down with you. It comes down to that a lot with RJ sufferers. They just don't accept that they are good enough and they are worthy enough of such love, and they're actually, you know, not as special as the experience, but actually more special to their partner. And it's proof because that's the path he's chosen with you. So I hope this video helped you guys. Let me know if you've got any other questions in the comment section below, and I'll see you soon. Take care.